What's up, guys? Austin here from the Chia Collective, the channel for all things Chia. I wanted to make a really quick video here about plotting PCs and like what to build. If you haven't seen it already, I released another video about this, but it goes really deep into it. It's much long. I think it's like almost 30 minutes long. And I go in PC part picker, pick piece by piece by piece, what you need and stuff like that. But I realize that's not for everyone. If you're just trying to get that like really quick and easy, how much information, what you need to know, this is the video this is the video to watch, okay? So let's just start from let's just, bang this out really quickly, right? CPU, look at your budget, right? Figure out how much money you can spend on a plotting computer, which is not the same as plotting is one thing, but then storing a hard drive space is another. So make sure you have enough money left over for any hard drives, because they're expensive now. It's like $500 for 16 terabytes, and 16 terabytes is very little, and you can fill it up pretty quickly if you spend $2,000 on a PC that can plot super fast. So make sure you find that balance. But CPU, find one that you can maximize your cores, okay? If you want to get really dirty into it, find a used server find used servers that you can buy for like $800 that have 24 cores. It's way cheaper than buying a $2,000 Threadripper. But then you have to figure out server configurations and stuff like that. I don't know much about it, but if you are a determined young fellow, you can probably figure it out, okay? Cores is key. Get as many cores as you can for whatever dollar amount that you can. I think the better CPU that you can get, the better overall your system will be. But with that, there are minimums and requirements and ratios that I've talked about in other videos. But let's say you have, every core that you get, I think you want about 3.5 gigs of RAM, and then 3.6 actually, if you want to round up. I think if you want to be more conservative, round up a little bit. And then you need about 260 gigabytes worth of hard drive space, okay? And so CPU, Intel, AMD, doesn't really matter. They both work fine. I've found that Intel CPUs are cheaper nowadays than AMD. One of the ones that I found, I think, online in my other video was the Intel Core i9 10900. It's a 10-core CPU, much cheaper. And I think it's cheaper than even the Ryzen 5900X, which has, I think, 8 cores or something like that. It's a much better deal, just calculation-wise, really good deal. So, don't be afraid to pick up Intel. I think Intel's actually also consume a little less power nowadays. RAM doesn't matter that much, just get the bare minimum. Every core that you have, get at least 3.6 gigs. Maybe if you can get 4, that'd be great, round up. Have a little extra memory to do other things, especially if your PC is going to be plotting and farming. Then it's really important to have extra RAM and a little bit extra, an extra kick, because otherwise your farmer is gonna start to kind of lag and fall apart because of the fact that you're plotting so hard, okay? And then SSD, everyone keeps asking okay, do I need to get enterprise? Do I need to do this? Which ones are really good? Okay, if you want the TLDR, get Samsung 980 Pros if you can, 970 or 970 EVOs. Both of those work. They are pretty effective overall. The 980s are a little bit faster, but they're going to cost you a little bit more. Both of those do really well in terms of sequential write speed, and so they will do very well even after all this caching happens. So if you're not familiar with that, really quickly, some SSDs write really fast because they have this caching layer, which is storing data and flashing it really quickly, but that is a limited capacity. So once it runs out, then the SSD becomes this really slow potato, and you don't want that because you're going to be plotting, and it's going to be sequential writing for a long time. So you want to find a drive that has long sequential write performance, even after caching is filled. Samsungs do it really well. Don't worry too much about enterprise. You're probably going to be able to plot a lot on those Samsung drives. This is if you want to go evaluate SSDs, we could spend 2 full videos talking about SSDs, but if you want the quick and dirty, just get some Samsung 980 Pros. 2 terabytes, or get, for every core that you have in your processor that you plan on utilizing for plotting, you need 250 gigs. So do the math and figure out how many NVMe SSDs you need. Okay, and that's really the bare essentials. That's all you need. I'm trying to think like if there's anything else. No, that's literally it. I think that's, if you wanted the quick and dirty, like what to buy, like that's it right there. One thing I'll do though is, if you look in the description below, I'll share a configuration that I built in my other video. This is going to be like a $2,000 build, and it's going to be able to sustain a decent amount of plots. I think, let me just double check on you. It's going to probably do anywhere from 20 to 45 plots a day, depending on how effectively it's set up. But yeah, I'll share that configuration below. You guys can go tinker around with it. If you need to cut prices and like play around with it, you can kind of change parts as you will. The one thing in there that you want to know is I specifically picked that case because it holds 18 hard drives. So if you plan on using a machine, like having one single machine that does both plotting and farming, that hard drive is pretty good because you can hold a lot of big hard drives in there, 18, right? And so that's definitely a lot of space for you. Hopefully that was really helpful. If you have any other questions, I plan on doing a Q&A video sometime soon. So feel free to ask your questions in the comments and I will try to get to them. The other thing is, once again, do me a huge, huge favor and please subscribe. It really helps the channel out, really helps me out. I hope that this stuff is been helpful for you. I'm super gung-ho about Chia, and I'm really trying to build this community around Chia and trying to make these videos so that people know everything that they need to know about Chia. Some things that you want to look forward to. We'll probably make some videos about command line soon, automated plotting, anything else. If you guys have requests, leave them in the comments. And yeah, I will make note of it. So until then, have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever. See you next video. Peace.